That night was colder than usual. The kind of cold that seeps into your bones, making even strong men shiver. He had just gotten off his late-night shift, tired, hungry, and clutching the last of his wages in his pocket, barely enough to buy a simple meal and pay part of the rent. As he walked down the nearly empty street, he noticed her sitting on a park bench, arms wrapped around herself, trembling violently in the night air. She wore professional clothes, but they were soaked through from the unexpected rain. Something about the sight stopped him in his tracks. He had no idea who she was, no idea what her story might be. All he knew was that she was cold. Without thinking twice, he took off his only jacket, the one that shielded him through countless winters, the one he couldn't really afford to lose, and gently draped it over her shoulders. That single act of kindness would soon change his life in ways he could never have imagined. The woman lifted her head, eyes red from tears. She tried to protest, but her voice shook. "No, you'll freeze." He smiled faintly, forcing strength into his tone. "Don't worry about me. You need this more than I do." He was used to hardship, used to choosing between food or warmth, rent or medicine. But something deep inside him told him this was more than just about a jacket, this was about reminding someone that humanity still exists. He gave a reassuring nod and walked away, leaving her stunned, clutching the warmth of not just the fabric, but of his selfless act. The next morning, his landlord was at the door, demanding rent he didn't have. He begged for more time, but the landlord had grown impatient. On his way to work, his shoes soaking from the muddy streets, he wondered how much longer he could survive this cycle. Yet, in his heart, he didn't regret giving away the jacket. Better to be cold, he told himself, than to let someone else suffer when I could help. 2 days later, his world turned upside down. He was called into the office unexpectedly, thinking he might lose his job. Instead, the company announced they had a new investor and a surprise guest, a woman who was about to meet the team. When she walked in, he froze. It was her. The same woman he had given his jacket to. But this time, she wasn't shivering or crying. She was powerful, radiant, and confident. She walked straight up to him with a soft smile. "Do you remember me?" she asked. His heart pounded. "Yes, that night in the park." She nodded, her voice warm with gratitude. "You gave me something priceless, not just warmth, but faith in people. What you didn't know is that I am the new CEO here." The entire office turned silent, shocked. She continued, eyes fixed on him. "You could have walked past me, but you didn't. That tells me everything I need to know about your character. And I want people like you, kind, selfless, and strong, to be part of my vision for this company." He couldn't believe it. She offered him a new position, higher pay, stability, and the chance to grow. The jacket he had given away had come back to him as a lifeline, proving that sometimes the smallest acts of kindness ripple into miracles. But life didn't suddenly become easy. With the promotion came new challenges. He had to learn new skills, face people who doubted him, and fight his own insecurities. Nights of study replaced nights of hunger. Days of nervous presentations replaced the struggle of searching for odd jobs. Yet every time he felt like giving up, he remembered that freezing night and how kindness had opened a door he never knew existed. He worked harder than ever, determined not just to honor the chance she gave him, but to honor the belief that kindness could change destinies. Months passed. The once struggling man who barely had money for rent was now thriving, respected by his colleagues, and trusted by the CEO herself. And one day, standing in front of a new group of recruits, he shared his story, not to brag, but to inspire. "Never underestimate a simple act of kindness," he said, his voice steady with emotion. "It might feel small in the moment, but it has the power to change lives. It changed mine." The room was silent, many with tears in their eyes. Because his story wasn't just about a jacket or a CEO. It was about hope, resilience, and the invisible threads that connect us all. And so, his life became living proof of a timeless truth. When you give without expecting anything in return, life finds a way to return it to you in ways you never dreamed possible.